Hello. Today, we will develop the classic game, Snake, using the C# language and the WinUI platform. Let's get started. Text block X, name equals score. The text block element is used to display the game score. X, name equals score, a unique name for the element that can be used to reference it in C# code. Text equals score, 0, initial text displayed in the text block, initialized with a score of 0. Font size equals 30, font size of the text. Horizontal alignment equals center, horizontal alignment of the text in the center. Margin equals 0, 10, margin from the top of the element is 10 pixels with no margin on the sides. Stack panel. Stack panel is used to group interface elements together. Horizontal alignment equals center and vertical alignment equals center, align the stack panel in the center both horizontally and vertically. Border. Border creates a border around its content. Border brush equals gray, the color of the border, gray. Border thickness equals 10, the thickness of the border, 10 pixels. Canvas. Canvas is used for drawing the game field and game objects. X, name equals game canvas, a unique name for the element that can be used to reference it in C# code. Width equals 800 and height equals 600, set the width and height of the game field in pixels. Vertical alignment equals center and horizontal alignment equals center, align the game field in the center both vertically and horizontally within the parent stack panel. Background equals beige, sets the background color of the game field to beige. IsTab stop equals true, allows the element to receive keyboard focus during tab navigation. Tab focus navigation equals cycle, defines how navigation between elements occurs when the tab key is pressed. Keydown equals game canvas underscore keydown, specifies the event handler that will be called when keyboard keys are pressed on the element. Lost focus equals game canvas underscore lost focus, specifies the event handler that will be called when the element loses focus. This markup fragment defines interface elements for displaying the game score and the game field. Game canvas will be used for drawing the snake, food, and other game objects in the application. Now, let's go through the C# code in detail. Constants and variables. Tile size of one tile on the game field, 40 by 40 pixels. Grid width and grid height, size of the game field grid in tiles, 40 by 30 tiles. Initial snake length, initial length of the snake, 3 segments. Score, variable to track the current score. Snake, list of points representing snake segments. Food, variable to store the coordinates of the food on the game field. Direction, enumeration representing snake directions, up, down, left, right. Current direction, current snake movement direction, default is right. Game timer, timer used to trigger the game loop. Is game in progress, flag indicating whether the game is currently in progress. Text block for displaying the game over message. Constructor main window. Initializes the main window of the application. Sets focus to game canvas for keyboard key handling. Configures the interval of game timer and sets the event handler to game loop. Calls the initialize game method for initial game setup. Method initialize game. Creates the initial position of the snake, adding segments to the snake list. Generates the initial position of food using the generate food position method. Starts the game using the start game method. Method draw grid. Draws a grid on the game field for visual separation of tiles. Uses nested loops to create rectangular elements, tiles, on game canvas. Method generate food position. Generates a random position for the food, on the game field. Ensures that the new food position does not overlap with snake segments. Returns the coordinates of the new food position. Method draw snake. Draws each segment of the snake. Each segment is represented by a green rectangle with a yellow inner rectangle. Eyes for the snake's head are also drawn, their position depends on the current direction. Method draw food. Draws the food on the game field as a red ring. Sets the position of the food to avoid overlapping with snake segments. Method game loop. Called when the timer triggers, it controls the game flow. Calls the move snake method to move the snake, then checks if the game is over using the isGameOver method. Depending on the result, it either ends the game using endgame, or continues drawing the game using drawGame. Method move snake. Handles the movement of the snake according to the current direction. Checks if the snake has eaten the food, and if so, increases the score, updates the food position, and increases the snake's length. Otherwise, the snake moves forward, and the last segment is removed. Method isGameOver. Checks if the game is over. The game is over if the snake's head goes out of the game field boundaries or collides with another snake segment. Method startGame. Sets the isGameInProgress flag to true. Starts the game timer. Calls the drawGame method for initial game rendering. Method endGame. Ends the game by stopping the timer and clearing the game field. Displays the Game Over message. Blinks the snake a few times using the Blink Snake method for a visual effect. Clears the snake list, resets the score, and starts a new game by calling InitializeGame. Method drawGame. Clears the game field. Draws the food, grid, and snake using the drawFood, drawGrid, and drawSnake methods. Method GameCanvas_keyDown. Handles keyboard key presses during the game. Changes the snake's movement direction based on the pressed key, preventing 180-degree turns. Method drawGameOver text. Displays the Game Over message in the center of the game field. Method clearSnake. Removes all snake elements from the game field. Method blinkSnake. Blinks the snake a few times for a visual effect when the game ends. Draws the snake, then clears it, and waits for some time before blinking again. Method GameCanvas_LostFocus. Handles the loss of focus by the game field, returning the focus back. That's it. You now have a working snake game on the WinUI platform. I hope you enjoyed the process of creating this game and learned something new. If you have any questions or suggestions, feel free to ask in the comments. Thanks for watching, and good luck with your future projects.